contributes or causes the adverse.
Parliament recently passed the budget for the financial year 2023-2024, which they say will be 52.73 trillion shillings, an increase from the last year's financial year.
Encouraging homosexuality.
Today, members of the Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group say, while the budget represents increases in allocations, in some sectors, there are several cuts that have been made which will affect service delivery.
This budget definitely affects the way we plan, but they promote discipline and efficiency in the budget process. So if we have the 52 trillion budget, and now we are going to depend on having more supplementary budgets, we might not achieve what we need.
If a farmer needs 30 kilograms of bean seed to plant an acre, it means that the farmer had to have 900,000. How many Ugandans have 900,000 in their houses? So the production has not taken place, and we are not seeing how the current budget is speaking to that.
The National Medical Stores was allocated 581 billion shillings for essential medicines. This is a shortfall from 782 billion shillings that was required.
And from the analysis from NMS, every year that passes, we are seeing an increase in the gaps for medicines that we need. So we need to take deliberate actions to respond.
There has also been a reduction in the manufacturing budget of up to 235 billion shillings.
From having allocation, more allocation to key areas such as manufacturing, when it comes to agro-industrialization, but also even when we talk about our debt issues, we see that there's a need to actually plug some of these leakages, the tax leakages, when it comes to incentives and also the harmful tax exemptions. These are actually contributing to how far we are actually seeing our budget today, speaking to some of these areas.
Technology has to go with extension. And we think for production technologies to work for the smaller farmers, we need to invest in that extension services so that they are meaningful.
So you just cannot cut 235 billion and then you still pretend and say, we have an industrialization agenda in this country.
There is less money that has been allocated to service the domestic debts. This will affect local borrowing and payment of government suppliers.
I think that for me, it's very clear and very important. The government looks at the context in which we are heading to. Of course, I mean, issues around corruption are still persistent and very prominent. And for this budget to be able to achieve its results, these things must be addressed. If you don't
Civil society officials argue that government should mobilize resources domestically and reduce borrowing for non-core projects. They are particularly concerned that government borrowed 4 trillion shillings last year to pay salaries, which should never be done. Juma Kiria, NTV.